Sports in a Jiffy is live on your radio, Empire Radio 102.1 FM, midweek edition of the show today, Wednesday, Thursday in the month of December, 2025, bringing you updates coming through from the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sport. Bits and pieces on the show this morning. Because we'll forget back later this evening between 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. on the Sports Hub show. We'll be doing 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, 1 hour of views, reviews, and all of the interviews. Super Eagles of Nigeria ahead of the African Cup of Nations 2025 tutelage under the tutelage of our coach Eric Sekechele dropped the 54-man Eagles preliminary squad that will soon be streamlined to just 28 in the next couple of days. We look forward to seeing who are the players that will be making the final cut to represent Nigeria at the African Cup of Nations right there in Morocco later this month. Don't forget the tournament kicks off on 21st of December. Stories coming through from other sports on the show this morning before we go straight to Europe and TikToks coming through from the world of football, reviewing some of the actions that went down across the top 5 European leagues from yesterday night. Away from that, let's go take stories coming through from other sports on the show this morning. Talking about handball, where the Niger United of Mina defeated Correction Boys 28-26 in a trailing tie played yesterday during the second phase of the ongoing Adova Handball Premier League right here in Lagos. Both teams came out with intent in the opening moment of the game, spreading passes, scoring, and also defending with their gusto. Niger United, being coached by Adebayo Yekini, made sure that they raced into a 16-12 lead at the end of the first half yesterday. In the female category as well, Omo Ogefo defeated Rivers Queens 38-24 to continue their rise on the table. The Benin side seemed where they were the best against Queens, who looked subdued towards the end of the game. Imo Grasshoppers, who are third on the table, beat Ekiti Queens 40-21 to maintain their spot, while Plateau Peacocks lost to Rima Queens 27-23. Champion Safety Babes also defeated Defender Babes 32-27 to record their second win after their first loss in 3 years at the Ogefo last week during their match right there. And away from that, still talking other sports on the show this morning, wicket keeper Sulaiman Rosewe will now assume the leadership position of Nigeria's male senior cricket team, the Yellow Greens, when they begin their title defense at the West Africa Trophy in Abuja this Thursday. Head coach and high performance manager of the Nigerian Cricket Federation, Stephen Tikolu, named this 14-man squad with Captain Sylvester Okpe and Lion Rosewe to take the lead, just as the Kenyan coach included a few new faces as well. Joining Rosewe for what promises to be a highly competitive regional showdown are players like Selim Salahu, Ali Rahman, Daniel Ajekon, and also Danladi Isaac. The squad is now rounded out by players like Vincent Adewoye, Kenneth Boniface. The Guinness World Record holder for the fastest bowling figures, Peter Hall, is missing due to his involvement with the Dubai Capitals for the ILT 20 Season 4 in Qatar. The Yellow Greens would definitely who won the first edition with an unbeaten record, sealing a pulsating 18-run victory over the resilient Rwanda in the final game at the Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval in Lagos in October 2023. Sierra Leone and Ghana also competed at the inaugural event. The opening fixture this time around will be against Zambia. The Yellow Greens will now face Sierra Leone on Friday, December 5, and Rwanda the following day. The four participating countries will meet 3 times each in a round-robin format before the top 2 teams advance to the final. Rwanda, Sierra Leone are definitely among the countries that are returning for this year's competition. And away from that, right now, straight into the world of football on the show this morning. I will start with takes coming through from the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Yesterday, the Nigerian football world was thrown into some form of debate as we've been having it in the last couple of days. This time around, the Super Eagles head coach Eric Sekechele unveiled a 54-man professional squad for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, setting the stage for the high-stakes contest for the final 28 spots. A couple of new names definitely made the ranks right there, but of course, we'll be looking forward to see the number of players or the new faces that will definitely be perusing the Africa Cup of Nations for Nigeria by the end of this month. The announcement made by the Nigerian Football Federation features a fixture and a mix of established internationals and also fresh talent, with Coach Chile reflecting that there's going to be some form of dual strategy of consolidating the core players while also looking to evaluate domestic and overseas prospects for the continental showpiece. Headline names such as the captain William Trist Ekong, striker Victor Osimhen, Wilfred Ndidi, and also goalkeeper Stanley Wabali forming the backbone of the team expected to challenge for honors right there in Morocco by the end of this year. According to CAF regulations, allowing up to 28 players for the final tournament squad, these additions are expected to compete intensely for the final and the remaining spots, particularly in positions where the depth is less established. A couple of other names, like I mentioned, seeing the likes of Ebenezer Akot, Kesin Okore, Chisom Oji, and also Adekunle Adeleke, who formed the significant part of the home-based players that were being called up by the coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And away from that right now, we're taking it straight to Europe on the show this morning. Don't forget that this is just 17 in bits and in pieces. I'll be back here later this evening between 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. on the Sports Up Show. We'll be doing 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of reach, 1 hour of news reviews, and all of the interviews. So to remember that I can keep track of this update and more by following us across all social media platforms. We are currently live on our YouTube channel at iImpact 102.1 FM and our Facebook fan page at iImpact Radio 102.1 FM. To the switch of the back of the net right about now, we get the show on the road with us coming through from the world of Formula One. And what of Formula One this season? This is one of the amazing seasons where you can talk about having a 3-man race in the final race of the season. Yes, 2 McLaren, 1 Red Bull, and that's exactly what we are saying. But the big question now is, what do Norris, Piastri, and Verstappen need to do to win the Formula One title? A couple of big questions are right there. Because after the Qatar Grand Prix, one thing is now so sure, that anything can happen in the 3-way title showdown between these 3 amazing individuals right there. But then, how did we get to this particular position where we find ourselves in the world of Formula One? We'll talk more about it later this evening on the Sports Up Show by 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. You most definitely want to make it a day with us on the show right there. In the world of tennis this morning, quickly bringing you updates. It's been said that Jacques Draper has now delayed his comeback from an arm injury in pulling out of this weekend's Ultimate Tennis Showdown UTS Grand Final in London. The British #1 has played just 1 singles match since Wimbledon and had been hoping to continue his preparations for a January return to the tour. However, the 23-year-old said in social media posts he has been advised to take more time rather than play in the event, which takes place at the Copa Box Arena from 5th to 7th of December. Draper felt first discomfort in his upper left serving arm during the clay court season in the spring, and following a scan after Wimbledon, did not hit any serves for over a month. Away from that right now, straight into the world of football on the show this morning, bringing you a recap of all of the matches that went down yesterday night in the world of football. AFC Bournemouth definitely lost at home right there at the Vitality Stadium to Everton. Jack Grealish's 78-minute strike means that Everton went away with all the maximum 3 points, and it was a 9-goal trailer right there at the Craven Cottage yesterday when Fulham definitely looked like they were going to be a bag of surprises for Manchester City, with Manchester City going on to win 5-4 after a pulsating second half right there. 2 strikes from Nigerian Samuel Chukwueze and also Alexander Iwobi made sure that it seemed like a bit of a comeback for Fulham, but then it didn't happen that way. At the point in time, the game was settled at 5-1. 3 quick fire goals means that Fulham had a stake in that particular game yesterday. 9-goal trailer, and a couple of glances to take away from that particular game is the fact that Erling Haaland has now become the quickest player to reach 100 Premier League goals with the opener yesterday. Also, Phil Foden scored twice for the second successive game for Manchester City in a very long time. I also talk about substitute Samuel Chukwueze, like I mentioned, who scored twice in 6 second half minute as Fulham look to make a comeback in that particular game. And now the move has now made Manchester City 2 points behind Arsenal, who are still currently top of the log. Newcastle United also played a 2-2 draw against Tottenham Hotspur at the St. James Park yesterday night. Christian Romero scoring a brace right there, one from a header and another one from a volley right there to secure the maximum 1 point for Tottenham Hotspur right there on the road yesterday. And a couple of other matches were played across Europe yesterday as well. In the Spanish La Liga, Barca were 3-1 winners over Atletico Madrid. Rafinha, Dani Olmo, and also Ferran Torres all getting on the score sheet, and this now means that Barca have now opened up a 4-point lead at the top of La Liga as they came from behind to defeat Atletico Madrid 3-1. Barcelona, don't forget, the trade league leaders Real Madrid by 5 points after the 2-1 defeat in El Clasico in October. But 5 games on, the buffer have now changed and they are now at the top, having played 1 game more with Los Blancos, who will be traveling to Bilbao to face Athletic Club later this evening. In the Spanish Copa del Rey, a couple of matches also went down yesterday. Same with the German DFB Pokal, where Lex of Borussia Dortmund lost yesterday to Bayern Leverkusen 1-0. RB Leipzig defeated Magdeburg 3-1. In the Copa Italia last night, Juventus were 2-0 winners over Udinese right there in the Coppa Italia. And later today we're seeing a couple of matches also go down in the English Premier. Don't forget that this is December and the games will keep coming in thick and fast. In the English Premier League, Arsenal will be hosting Brentford, Brighton and Hove Albion will be hosting Aston Villa, Burnley will be hosting Crystal Palace, Wolverhampton Wanderers will be hosting Nottingham Forest, Leeds United will be up against Chelsea, while Liverpool will be hosting Sunderland at about 8:15 p.m. Nigerian time. While in this Spanish Liga, like I mentioned, Athletic Club will be hosting Real Madrid, and a couple of other matches right there in the Spanish Copa del Rey. Same with German DFB Pokal, where Bayern Munich will travel to Union Berlin. Freiburg will be hosting Darmstadt 98, while in Coppa Italia, the round of 16 matches, Atlanta will be hosting Genoa, Napoli will be hosting Cagliari, while Inter Milan will be hosting Venezia later this evening. A couple of matches in the Nigerian Premier Football League as well. We'll be seeing Rivers United host Botham leading from the bottom this time around. Not too good to say about Kano Pillars, who will travel to Rivers United, and the Battle of Stars right there. Can as well call it the Southwest Derby, where Shooting Star Sports Club will be hosting Remo Stars at about 3 p.m. Nigerian time. Sports in a Jiffy right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, and this is how much we're thinking on the show for this morning. Don't forget I'll be back here this evening, like I mentioned, 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. on the Sports Up Show, where we'll do 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, 1 hour of views, reviews, and all of the interviews. Ayodeji Ajiboye is signing out this morning. As I always tell you, stay sporty, stay active, drink enough water to stay hydrated. Go out there and be the best version of yourself. Do not forget to be kind, because kindness is cool. Today, a memorable day in the history of Empire Radio 102.1 FM, celebrating 3 years of broadcasting excellence to you and you. We say thank you to you for being a part of the growth in the last couple of years. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for always coming to us. Thank you for allowing us preach entertainment, preach fun to your hearing. This is to so many more years to come in between every one of us. Go out there, be the best version of yourself, and do not forget to be kind. And once again, I want to say a very happy birthday to the chairman of Solution Media and Infotech Limited, Prince Adeyanju Lipede, who also marks his 70th birthday today. Happy birthday to you, long life and prosperity. Good morning to you. Have a blessed and highly favored